Hey y'all, welcome back to Maya TV. A lot of y'all have asked where I got my 2024 calendar throughout the year. The answer is I made it. Unfortunately, I can't sell it due to copyright and NIL laws, but fortunately for you, I made a step-by-step tutorial on how you can make a calendar of your own. I would recommend playing this video side by side or in another browser while you're making it, saving it for later, or if you don't want to watch this full video, I do have a 3-minute version that I filmed last year for TikTok, but I honestly think this one is more comprehensive and more updated and high quality. So let's get into the tutorial. Okay, we're gonna start off by opening Canva and typing in wall calendar. I believe this is the only version that you could actually print out, and it will be 11 by 8.5 inches. Okay, once you search that up, templates and calendars made by other people will pop up, and honestly, if you like them as is, you could just go ahead and print them out from there, or you could just sift around and see what elements you like and take inspiration from all the different designs. For example, I really like the styling and the colors from this one. Like for example, the area where the months are listed, maybe I want to duplicate that and put that in my own calendar. This is another one that's super cute, but I don't think this is the vibe that I want to go for. I kind of want to replicate the one that I already made last year. So what I end up doing is choosing a basic calendar because at the end of the day, you need something with the months and dates already pre-made so that you don't have to make those boxes yourself. Once I open up this basic calendar, I just make sure that on the right, this is actually a calendar that can be printed out because there are some that can't. And from there, it's officially time to customize your calendar. On the left of my screen, I'm showing you that this is not permanent. If you want to change your mind midway and select a different template, you absolutely can. Since I'm happy with the one I chose, I'm going to go ahead and start customizing the body of the calendar. This looks like changing the fonts of the months, the dates, adding color to the background, and adding any other stylistic elements that you like. So for example, here I'm just highlighting the months, and then I'm going to change the font to Horizon or League Spartan, I believe, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the dates. I'm also going to change the background color for each month. So for January, I just feel like January gives red. So on the side, I'm just going through to find the perfect red for me. I'm also going to edit the cells or the boxes that contain the dates by changing the thickness and the color of the line. So originally the lines were gray or black, so here I'm changing it to match the background, and I'm also gonna create a little bit more space in between the boxes because that's just stylistically how I like it. So the table space that I'm gonna do is 3 and 9. After editing the cells or the date boxes, I'm gonna actually go back in and change the font, and once I found the perfect one, I'll apply it, and this will essentially complete January 2025 and serve as a template for the rest of the year. I'm going to show you a couple of more times. So unfortunately, you cannot copy and paste because every month is different. So I started off by adjusting the table spacing. Next, I will change the background for that specific month. And from there, I will highlight all of the cells by doing Command-Shift-Right to highlight all of the rows and Command-Shift-Down to highlight the entire calendar. And then in the upper left, that's where you will choose the color, which I chose white, to fill the date boxes or the actual calendar. So that was for March. I'm going to move on to April and do the exact same thing. So change the background, highlight all the cells, change the font, change the color of the lines, the thickness of the lines, so on and so forth. After I adjusted all the months, it's time to move on to make the cover page. This is actually my favorite part because it sets the tone or the theme for the entire calendar. For this calendar, I had no idea what the theme would be, so I'm playing around by looking up elements or numbers in the search bar. For example, I typed in scrapbook numbers and all these cute little things popped up, and I just put them on the page and adjusted them accordingly. This pink font is the one I actually used last year, so I wanted to see if I wanted to do like a series and maybe do a blue version this year, but ultimately I chose something else. Okay, I found the numbers that I liked by simply typing in fur number 2 or fur 5. And what I do is click on all of them at the same time so that they're stacked, and then I could adjust the sizing all at once so it's consistent. Once you find the perfect size, that's when you can click each number individually and separate and drag them to the correct order. If they're still too big or too small, you can still highlight them all and adjust accordingly, and then I'll just make sure that the spacing is correct in between, and that's when I'll jump into changing the background colors. So halfway through this project, I realized I didn't want solid colors to serve as the background for both the calendar part and the cover pages. So I decided to actually go with prints and textures. And this way I just searched them in Canva and chose things that already existed and dragged and dropped them to the background. For example, March was originally blue, so I wanted to find something blue or a blue texture. I typed in bubbles and I found this like dishwater background, and I just clicked that and layered it to send it to the back so everything else was visible. Once again, I did the same thing for all 12 months. It did take a minute just to find the perfect texture or pattern, but I love the end result. You don't have to do this, of course. I'm just extra, or this just matches my personality. So now it's time to adjust the title pages where the actual month and other additional things will live, like a collage or a notes box. So I'm just going through deleting what was already there, and I did decide I want a notes box this year to add notes. Though I thought the squiggle was cute, it ultimately wasn't practical because I do want to add a collage to the left hand side. So I just chose a rectangle or square, adjusted it to the right sides that I wanted, and then I ultimately filled the color or filled the box with white. This is also where I decided I wanted the title background to look the same as the calendar background, so I just copied and pasted those prints or patterns, put it in the title background. I also played around with the fonts of the actual month. So example, I typed in January to see if there was anything that already pre-existed. Ultimately, I didn't like any of the options, so I just used the traditional text box and found the font that I liked, which is Horizon. From there, I just duplicated the text box to all the other pages, and I also just made sure I had a space or a box for where I will make the collage. I also decided to group both boxes together just so that they would stay in place, and you'll still have a line of separation, and this is the final product, or this is what it looks like after that step. Okay, now it's time to make the collage part, which is what made my previous calendar look so aesthetic and appealing, I believe. So of course I pulled all of the images from Pinterest, but what I do is create an actual board for it and just hide it. So for this one, I titled it 2025 calendar, and I just make sure to hit that secret toggles just so it won't interfere with my public saves on Pinterest. And from there, that's when I just start to save memes, edits, or images of things that I like. This actually takes the longest time because there's obviously 12 months, so that's 12 collages. And for me, I think it's hard because I try to color code it. For example, January is red, so I want all red images. February is pink, so I want all pink images. And so once you start clicking and saving these things to the board, Pinterest will actually like curate an algorithm with similar photos or memes like that you might be looking for. So from there, you'll just download them as images, and I just go ahead and like title them just so I can remember what I saved. Obviously from there, I will upload all the images to Canva, and I started off by making a template on January. So on the left hand side is where I'll make the collage with about 8 images or so, and then I will just drag and drop the images from the left into pre-existing boxes on the right. That way I don't have to like adjust each box for every single page. That's what I was doing last year and it took so long, but these are already like kind of templated. So this is what February looks like. I'm making sure there's no white lines in between and all the words are legible. So I made a collage for every month according to the color scheme, and now I'm just adding like finishing touches, like labeling this text box as notes, and I'm just changing and choosing the colors that I like. From there, I'm just deciding to put a signature on the front and or back of the calendar just to show, hey, I did it. And then I do a final walkthrough of every month, making sure that I didn't duplicate any images, there's no white lines. And I'm actually going to double check to see if the dates are correct on the calendar, just in case, you never know. Now it's officially time to print, and you just go to the top right corner, click print with Canva, and they'll give you another little walkthrough of your calendar, and it looks so freaking cute. I'm so obsessed. I'm just double checking to see if there's any like white lines or things that I don't like. Here I spotted one, but turns out it was fine. So now I'm just going to select continue. It's great that they have free shipping. They'll also automatically check to see if there's any errors. So you just click that toggle, add to your cart. They even give you a downloadable PDF version, which I love because I use it to set as my wallpaper. If you're officially done making changes and edits, it's finally time to add to cart, add your information, and select purchase on your very own calendar. Hopefully that was easy to follow along. It did take me about 4 or 5 days to complete that calendar just because I was sourcing photos from Pinterest every single night. Unfortunately, I don't have the physical version of the calendar that I just made because I literally just placed the order yesterday. So it should be here in about a week, and of course I'm going to show the aftermath or the finished product on here, TikTok, and Instagram. If you were inspired by this video and decide to make your own, I would love to see the versions that you create. You could either tag me here, Instagram, TikTok, at Maya X Simone. I don't know why I did that. Thank you so much for watching. Please share it with your friends or any other DIY girlies who want to do the same for 2025 and beyond. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video to any other DIY girlies who would love to make their own calendar for 2025 and beyond. Bye.